And I'm going to say H2, and we're going to call this videos. And then we're going to go down just a little bit, create a paragraph tag. Actually, instead of saying add videos here, I'm going to go ahead and create a image. And we're going to we'll use the play PNG. So and this one I'm going to go ahead and specify some details on. So we're going to say the width on this one, and we'll make it 93. Oops. And let's go ahead and make the height 124. And we'll give it an alt. This is for mouse overs, or if for some reason the video or the image can't show up, then we have an alternate text. Alright, so there's that. And we'll just leave it alone for now. So we'll do some more things with this later, but as far as right now, we won't do anything. And let's see what it looks like. We've been coding for a little bit, so we're just going to refresh our page there. And there we go. We got a logo, we got all our posts, and we have our play image. So let me full screen that real quick for you so you can see it. So there's our play image, there's our different posts, there's our HTML5 tutorial, and the bullets. So far, pretty basic stuff. Okay, at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this sidebar, and we'll make 2 more. I'm going to remove the images from these because we don't want the same thing. And we'll just call this Title 1 and Title 2. And we'll say this is a middle sidebar, and we'll say this is a bottom sidebar. Alright, so there we go. We've created our sections and our sidebars. Okay, all that's left is to create the footer class, or the footer tag. Again, this is an HTML5 tag that's new. We'll give it a class of main footer. Close it off, and we're just going to go ahead and create a paragraph right here, and maybe give it a copyright or something. So we'll say okay. This little tag right here is I believe the ANSI code for copyright, so it should show up as a copyright symbol. So let's see. And it does. So no sense of reloading the mobile because it's not going to do anything this time. It'll look exactly the same as this. But that is the entire HTML. So we are done with that. We may go back and make a few changes, but for the most part, this is exactly what we're looking for. So now we need to move on to the CSS. Let's double click CSS, and there we go. So we may want to make a couple informational things here, like who wrote it and what it is. So I might say, if I created this as a theme, we'll create a theme name. Let's say a date, author, you know, all that stuff. We can do anything we want here. So I'm not going to go ahead and fill that out. It's kind of a waste of time at this point. So, but notice that the comments in CSS are a /* closed by a */, as opposed to our comments in HTML, which were a left caret exclamation -- closed by a -- with a right caret. Okay, to start things off, let's go ahead and do our body. Whoops. So if I don't put anything in front of body, it's assuming that I'm using the standard default HTML body tag. So that would be that right there. And actually, I'm going to remove this. I don't know why I had that on there, that style. So we're going to remove that. So going back to CSS, let's go ahead and style our body tag. So I'm going to say we have a background image. And we're going to give it a URL of images /bg.png. Always close your CSS with a semicolon. We're going to say our color, which is our font color for the site. And we'll give it a, you can select something, but I got one preset that I want. So let's go ahead and give it a font size. And I'm going to make this a percentage because we are doing a responsive website, so it's going to change as the page increases in size or decreases in size. We'll do a font family, and I'm going to make it Arial, and let's see the sans. Okay, we're going to align all of our text on the site to the left. So text, align, left. So just like that. That's just going to be our standard body styling. So let's save that. And let's see if it did anything over here. Yep, so we had a couple of changes. Nothing major yet. Okay. Now below my body tag, I'm going to go ahead and manage some of our site content. So that's like our hyperlinks. And we may want to comment that, say what it is. Okay. And our hyperlinks are the A tag, so we're going to just do that. And the A tag is going to have no text decorations. What that means is basically your underscores that typically show up on hyperlinks. We don't want the site automatically putting that stuff on there, so we're going to take that off. If we want it on something, we'll add it manually. And we also want to manage how the link is showing up, if it's visited or active or hovering. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to change the color on that to, again, I have a preset. You can select a color here just like that, but I have one that I want to use. So alright, so now we're going to change what happens when a link is hovered on. So we'll just change the background color, and we're going to make it the same as the default color for the link. But now if we do that, let's go ahead and save it, and I'll show you what happens if we do that. See, now we changed our color, but now if I mouse over it, it just completely blanks it out. So on the hover attribute, we also want to change the color as well. And we'll make it white. Now you can see when I reload the page that it shows up with a different background and white text. So there we go. And we could format that further, but we're not going to at this time. Okay, I like to put an ending tag or ending comment just saying that I'm done with that section. And I typically start it by end. And that way I know I started with hyperlink CSS and I'm ending my hyperlink CSS. So that just helps me stay organized and know where I am. Alright, so first thing, let's go ahead and work with the main header. And just to save time on typing, I'm just going to go ahead and copy that, put it there, and type end. Okay, now on this one, I'm going to put a period, main header, and what that basically means, that period means it's a class, as opposed to if I was to do a pound sign, main header, it would be looking for an ID. So over here, if I was to give something an ID, like, let's say, header ID equals main header, that to reference that would be a pound sign in CSS. But we're not going to do any of that, I don't believe. So we're just going to leave it as classes. So there's my period, main header, and let's deal with the logo image first. So our main header, inside the main header, the image, or any images inside the main header, are going to get this CSS. And we'll make the width, we'll do it at 45% of the page. Again, we're using percentages because this is a responsive website. And let's go ahead and make the height. We'll do that auto. So it'll auto adjust the height based on the width. And we'll do margin. And we'll say the top and bottom are going to be 2%. And left and right are going to be 0. Just a quick view on how that works on margins. I could say top, bottom, left, right, or like I did up here, I can combine them, top and bottom, left and right. So that's what I did. So let's kind of see how that changed our stuff, adjusting the image. And now it should be somewhat responsive. Let's see. See, as I shrink the page, it also shrinks the image. Let's go bigger screen so we can see that fully. So just like that. The image adjusts to the size of the site. Okay, so now we're going to deal with the navigation. So let's do main header. So inside the main header and the nav tag. So we know we're working with the main header and the nav tag. So let's set the background color. And we're going to go ahead and make it 666. That's a gray, a light gray. And we'll do a height of 40 pixels. The height doesn't really matter as far as the dynamics of the website, because, and you'll see that later as we grow into it, but we want a specific height on this. So now let's go ahead and create a border radius, and I'll show you what I mean. If we save that right here and type in border, and radius, we're going to go ahead and set that to 5 pixels. Okay, and that went ahead and created your border radius, but we need to go ahead and account for things like Mozilla Firefox and web browsers that use WebKit. So what we're going to do is just copy this 3 times. And in front of the first one, we're going to type in dash Moz dash. And the second one, we're going to type in dash WebKit dash. And then I'll count for those. So let's go ahead and save this again. Go back to our demonstration here. And notice the border has become a radius. Now you're probably going to want to copy that because we're going to be using it quite often. So here we're going to go ahead and adjust the CSS to create the buttons. So first thing I'm going to do is do the main header, the nav section, and do the UL tag. So we have the opening part of our bolded list that we currently have. And we're going to go ahead and say list style is none, and margin is 0 auto. So now let's go ahead and manage the LI tag. Alright, we're going to go ahead and make sure it floats left. This means we always want it aligned to the left. And we'll display it inline. Oops. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the next section. And dot main header nav and then a link. We're also going to adjust the main header nav a visited.
Hey, thanks for watching. And if you could just click right there for me to subscribe to my channel, that'll really help me out and you'll get notifications anytime I release a new video. Thanks a lot.